Stephen, great to see you today.
Hi, Hunter. Great to be with you.
And welcome to the program. It's, wow, what a great celebration. And, you know, I'm thrilled to have you here. I've followed you for years and I love your work. Talk to us about the speed of trust and why trust matters so much in business, in your personal life, and in the world.
Yeah, well, thank you, Hunter. I'm thrilled to be here with you. Trust has always been important, of course, but never more so than in our world today, because of all the disruption, the changes, the forces that have hit us. It's put a greater premium on trust more than ever before. And I saw that as I looked at a lot of the videos from the winners of, the winners from these national awards, this whole ceremony, to see people, the CIOs and the CISOs talking about their teams and the culture that they built and the speed at which they can operate. It's all based upon trust. In a very real sense, trust is the new currency of our time. And it enables us to move fast and to multiply everything that we're trying to do and to energize people and cultures. And I saw that as I looked at the award winners and hearing their testimonials about the cultures they built, the teams they have, the work that they're doing. And so it's foundational to that. But I'll tell you why it's become especially vital today. It's because if we get good at trust as leaders and build high trust teams, high trust cultures, we can do everything else that we're trying to do better. So our ability to build a team goes up. It's hard to have a team without trust. Without trust, you're just a group of individuals. It is trust that turns a group into a team. It's transformative. Trust enables us to build inclusivity, inclusion, equity, and diversity, which is so vital today because differences are our strengths when people trust each other. Trust is what enables us to truly collaborate. Without trust, we don't really collaborate. I think we just merely coordinate. Nothing wrong with coordination, but you're leaving a lot of value on the table. There's a gap between your performance and your potential. But you increase the level of trust, you move to a higher level of cooperation, you increase the trust even more, you move to an even higher level of creative, innovative collaboration. And it is trust that turns mere coordination into true collaboration. In a very real sense, trust is the ultimate collaboration tool. You can do everything else you're trying to do better. That's why it's so powerful and vital today.
And there's a financial impact. There's a bottom line financial impact, right? And for some of the technology leaders here, the technology might be the easy piece. The difficulty is building that high-performing culture. You work with groups, companies all around the world across all industries. Tell us more.
Exactly. In fact, Hunter, I presented at a materials handling and logistics conference recently, and the whole premise was to manage our world today, we need two things. We need the technology and we need the trust. And they made your very point. We think we got the technology. The real question is whether or not we have the trust. In a very real sense, it's maybe the harder piece. And the technology is hard. And you know that. Our audience knows this because this is your world, so well. But what really is going to leverage this and enable us to run with this in new and different ways is to build and create that trust. And there are economics to trust. To your point, you move faster with less cost. High trust is a multiplier. It is a dividend. Low trust is a tax. It diminishes, dilutes, taxes, everything we're trying to do. Everything takes you longer. Everything costs you more. Whereas with trust, high trust, you move fast, low cost, the speed of trust. I know you're going to have Gary Sorrentino on from Zoom Video Communications. And I worked with Eric Yuan, the founder of Zoom. And I spoke at Zoomtopia and did some things with him. Here's the interesting thing. He makes the point that, as an entrepreneurial organization, how speed is everything. It's the most vital thing they have. And he said, without trust, you have no speed. But with trust, you move fast. That's why ultimately trust is everything, because it affects the speed at which we can move and the cost of everything. I like to put it this way. Nothing is as fast as the speed of trust. And nothing is as profitable as the economics of trust. You can put a financial value on it.
Hey, Stephen, we have a lot of high performers here, a lot of folks that really get it. How do they benchmark where they are relative to a high-performing culture with an innovative point of view and a speed indication? How best to benchmark yourself?
Variety of different ways you can do it. You can do it formally or informally. Formally includes things like you can actually measure trust. Trust is a perception. And you can measure perceptions through anonymous surveying. And just like you can measure engagement, you can also measure trust. And you can look at the level of trust on a team or in an organization. I've worked with a lot of IT organizations where they've actually gotten a snapshot at measuring the level of trust inside their IT organization. And sometimes even with the executive team of the IT organization or with their business partners that they serve to measure the level of trust, both where the trust is at, but also why it's at where it's at, the components of it, the credibility of the components, the behavioral components. So you can actually formally measure trust if you want to. But apart from that, you can even kind of informally look at the behaviors that are taking place. Do people talk straight? Or are they spinning? Do they clarify expectations, or is there guessing going on everywhere? Do people practice accountability and own things, or is there finger pointing and blaming? Do people listen first and truly understand, or are people listening really with the intent just to respond and to reply? We could go on and on and on. You can kind of look at the behaviors that are going on inside of a team or in an organization, and that will give you a sense of the level of trust that is operating there. So from formal measures to informal measures, there's a lot of ways of really looking at where you are at the level of trust on your team, in your organization.
Hey, great stuff, Stephen. How about building a culture of storytelling, talking about trust, talking about speed, talking about innovation? Storytelling is important, isn't it? And we have a bunch of recognized award winners here today. They're going to be telling their stories. Celebration is important as well, right?
Absolutely, it is. We got to celebrate. We got to recognize this. Storytelling is vital. And that's why I think the role that the IT organization plays and the IT leaders play, whether as CIO and the -1 or the CISOs, whatever your role is, you are vital to the trust relationship inside of the entire organization, both IT, but also the organization at large. And I'll tell you why. Because most the company that you're serving, that you're part of, your broader organization, generally speaking, most people don't understand the technology. You do within the IT team and organization. And so the rest of the organization needs to trust you. And because they don't know the technology, but they're trusting both that you can keep the lights on, so to speak, security, reliability, all the things you got to do, but also transform the organization through technology and stay current, and then also becoming a business partner to the business. You're doing all these things at once. And so you really play this role of driving trust. And when you lead out with this, when you model trust by who you are and how you lead, when you extend trust to your team and to your stakeholders, to your partners, and when you inspire people by connecting with people and connecting to purpose, it enables you to tell a great story. And by becoming a model, you then can become a mentor. And we need more of that today, to be a model and a mentor. And that's really probably my challenge to the great leaders that are here today, because this is the award ceremony. And we've got winners of this that are really doing a great job, is first be a model, then be a mentor. And you can literally impact the entire organization, not just through technology, but even through culture. And I think the IT organization can be the catalyst to make it happen. And it starts with each of us as leaders.
Awesome stuff, Stephen. Thanks so much for coming for today's celebration. And it's great to have you in person here as well. Thank you.
You're welcome, Hunter. It's always great to be with you. And I honor all of you that are here today for our celebration.